Gearbest has sent me another quad to review, and this is the FQ777, and its model number is 951W, and the W means it's got Wi-Fi on it, as you can see here. You get the transmitter and the little tiny quad, but you don't get a phone, so you have to supply your own phone for using the FPV Wi-Fi. It works on Android or Apple, which is rather good. And then you've got two different colours, you've got the black and the red, and I've got the black one coming, which is rather good, and a couple of photos on the end there, and then you've got the QR codes for the actual apps to run the FPV. And another good thing about this is it's come all the way from China and there's not a mark on the box, so the packaging is getting better and better. So this is the contents of the box, and it was really well packaged actually, apart from the box being actually crushed. I think you'd have a job damaging any of the items in there, so that's a good point as well. The everything almost dwarfs the little tiny quad in the middle, but let's go through what you get. You get the holder for your phone and an attachment to go onto the transmitter itself, and I'll run through that later on in the review. The transmitter itself is one of the little small ones, as you can see, and I'll run through all the functions on that as a separate part of the review as well. You get 4 prop guards, which just literally just pop on. I shan't be using them, but if you're new to flying, they'd be worth having on. They just literally clip into there, really easy. You get 4 spare propellers, a couple of screws, you get the usual sort of Phillips screwdriver, and then you get a USB adapter to charge your battery. And then onto the quad itself, it's a really nice, they say it's black, but it's sort of got sort of colours within the black. It's a really smart looking quad, really compact as well. And obviously your camera's there on the front for the FPV. There's no storage on the quad at all. There's a little slot there, but that won't take a micro SD card. The storage will be done back on your phone, and I'll show you that when we get into the app. But the thing I really like about this, it's actually got a removable battery, so you can just get yourself another couple of batteries, and then you can fly a lot more than just having the one that's usually built into these little tiny quads. And it's a single cell 150 milliamp hour battery. Okay, so I've got the quad battery on charge, and you can either charge that with a USB mains adapter, or you can just use a spare port on your computer or your laptop. So while that's on, good time to go through the instructions, and these are quite well laid out actually, and quite a good system. It's all English on one side, and then on the other side it's all in Chinese, so it's nice and easy to find what you want to look for. You're not looking over 2 languages. If you're new to quads and everything, it explains basically all the functions and everything, which is rather good. You've got how to calibrate it should you need to, and also all the functions on the transmitter and everything. Also highlights the point that you will need 3 AAA batteries there for the transmitter, and it doesn't come with those, so you must supply them yourself. It's actually, the Chinese to English is pretty good. There's a couple of tiny errors, not errors, but sort of mistranslation, shall we say. But it all would make sense, even if you're new to quads and everything. And also, because I've got the one with the FPV on, you get a little leaflet on the Wi-Fi as well, and basically it runs through the QR codes for Apple and Android, and you've got 2 different places to get them. It basically uses the Wi-Fi UFO, and I've used that on several quads, so it's quite a simple one to set up and get running, and then it runs through the functions and everything. I'm just going to run through the functions on the transmitter. Of course, you don't have to fly FPV. You can just fly it just as a normal quad without FPV. So, but obviously on the FPV version, you can't actually record anything because there's no onboard storage. So I'm just quickly going to plug the quad in, which has been a little awkward. There we go, that's sorted now. And you get the flashing LEDs. Turn on the transmitter, and then up and down on the throttle, and then the LEDs stop flashing, and as you can see there, you're going to get we're all powered up and we're ready to go. You got to change the rates on this one. You just simply use this slider, which is something I've not come across on little quads. It's rather good, I think. When you slide it across, you get a double beep when it goes into intermediate rates, and you get 3 beeps when it goes up into high rates. I'd always suggest you start in low rates, but you could actually start in high rates if you're a competent pilot already. You've got your throttle, as you say, on this side. You've got your
basically it's a mode 2 flight controller. So your yaw is right and left, and then you've got roll, right and left, and pitch forward and back. These are your trim buttons if you start to get any drift on the quad, but you have to be either indoors or totally wind-free or breeze-free outside. Quads this size outside, you know, any amount of breeze is going to move it. This button here on the left normally activates to take photographs and to take video, and it does actually do something. When you press it, you get a flash on the quad itself, but there's no onboard storage, so just be wary. If you got the Wi-Fi one, that won't actually do anything. So if you think you're taking your shots, recording your video, it's not going to happen. But what does work is this button here on the right, and if I do a quick press with it, it goes into flip mode, and then you choose what direction you want to flip in. Obviously it has to be flying at the time, and then if you want it into headless mode, you just simply hold it down, and then you get that long beep, and then you can see the LEDs are flashing, and they stay flashing until you hold that down again for another couple of seconds, and then it goes back into normal mode. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the app now. This uses a generic one called Wi-Fi UFO. It's a good little app, actually. I like this one. You can get it from the Apple Store or the Play Store as well, the Google Play Store. I've turned the quad on, and then I've gone into the app, and then it usually it binds really quick. Look at that. So that's if you just wanted to use it as FPV, you'd put this on your transmitter and you just fly normally. But the nice thing about this app is you can actually fly using it as well, and I'll show you that in a second. But to activate taking photographs, and on this Wi-Fi system, it actually stores it back to the phone. You take stills with that one, and you turn your video on and off with this one. As you can see, it's counting up on the video, and then we'll just stop that. But if you don't want to use the transmitter, and you can just fly it literally from the app. So just turn that on, and you've got your trim buttons around the side. It's all set up for mode 2 flight mode. So your throttle works, everything else will work as well. You can alter the rates, you can play back videos. There's lots of things this app does. And if you're a gamer, or if you're good with gyro stuff, then if we just press this one here, this now becomes, I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up on the camera, but the pitch and roll is actually as you turn and tilt your phone. The throttle works the same, and the yaw works the same, so basically the turn works the same, but you actually control the pitch and roll with it. I don't get on with this at all well, but if you're into it, this would work really well. So let's go, let's see how we get on. So they always start in low rates, and always like these little mini quads, they're always so much fun. They're quite gentle and docile, as you can see. Good little fly though, yeah, I like the little ones. Okay, there's 3 rates on here, and it's actually with a slider on this one, so put it up into 2. Well, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's fine. Nice. So that's in 2, let's try it in 3. If that was 2, 3 is going to be quite, yeah, pretty good, I'd say. Nice. Yeah, there we go. So to put it into headless mode, so we just hold that button down for a couple of seconds and you get a beep. I don't know if you picked that up. Gee, in 3 it's quite rapid, I tell you. Actually, let's just drop that back into 1. There we go. That might make it a little bit easier to see what it's doing in headless mode there. That's good. So it definitely works. Take it back out. You hold that down again. It comes out of headless. There we go. To flip it, you simply press that quickly. You get a beep. Oh. Oh. There we go. I think I'll put it back in headless mode. No, I haven't. That's good. Oh, there's a flashing LED. Oh, that's probably the video. But yeah, sorry, I was going to say we shouldn't have flashing LEDs yet. Let's crank that back up into high rates. Yeah, that's cool. Nice. Whoa! Does need a little bit of throttle. There's quite a bit of weight there actually for such a small thing. It does need a little bit of throttle. That was operator error there.
And the FPV seems to be working pretty well, actually. Yeah, if you do too much pitch and roll, it can sort of run out of power. Ooh. Let's see if we do a bit of a range test with it. Whoa, that's better. Oh, I think that's run out of range. It's probably about 20-25 metres. Well, possibly getting on for 30. I'm glad it wasn't any further. I'd have to walk more further. Yeah, I think that was just. Yeah, I think it does about that range. I mean, I never bother too much about the range on these little nanos because you usually fly them indoors. To be honest, I mean, this is slightly bigger than a nano, but these little ones I never worry about too much because I just don't really see that they're really built for that. And if you flew it, 50 metres away to use the Wi-Fi, shall we say, I mean, it would take you all your battery life to get out there and get back, so I really don't see what the problem is. Wi-Fi seems to work pretty well, so we can go out around the tree. Definitely needs a bit of throttle, and the wind's quite strong, and that's going to catch a little thing like this, without a doubt. There's still no flashing LEDs, so that's good, and we're just on 3.5 minutes, so that's pretty good. That is a nice little flyer. Oh, do my usual test with the. Whoops! I say this isn't drift. This is actually the wind's catching it. I was just going to try and show you what difference it makes on the rate. So I'll tell you what. Let's just do it this way. So there we go. So that's high rates. Oh, I think we're going to run out of power. Yeah, we are. I must be having the flashing LEDs. I've got the power right up now. Yeah, that's good. There we go, that's literally gone now. I'm just going to nail it off.
So in summary on this drone then, slight negative I would say is I got drop out at about 25 metres. I think they give 50 metres and up to 100 metres range, which is absolutely ludicrous for a little drone this size, or a quad this size, I think anyway. Up to sort of 20 metres away is fine for flying, and certainly covers anywhere indoors. If you start to go any further, you can't see it anyway, so you're just relying on the FPV, and you're probably going to drop out a signal. So it's not a real negative, to be honest. They quote 5 minutes flight time. I never got flying 5 minutes. Averaged around 4 minutes, but 3.5 to 4 minutes was a full flight time, and that was running the battery right out. So a little bit low there, sort of thing. The good thing is it takes about half an hour to recharge, so just whack it on charge and off you go again. And obviously it's got an easy replaceable removable battery, so you could have 2 or 3 of those and you could be in the air straight away afterwards, so that's good. I like the transmitter, it worked really well. I'm not a big fan of these little tiny ones, but actually with the size of these sticks on here, you could use it quite easily. I've not come across one with a slider for the rates, and I think that's really good. You just know you've done it and you're clicking into position. It's a shame they put 2 different things on one button here, but that's quite common these days. And if you've got another one without the FPV, you can activate the video and take stills with the other one. So it's, yeah, they've got to use the buttons for something. It's just a shame they hadn't moved it across. The phone holder was really good, really nice and solid, and I like that. That was very good indeed. So yeah, I like the whole quad and everything. It flies really well, and it's really good fun. The FPV works pretty good too, as well as any sort of Wi-Fi FPV, as good as it can ever be. And I just thought I'd do a quick comparison in size. It is slightly larger than the little tiny CX10. So there we go.